Thank you for joining us today for the virtual Sunday service with the Center for Creative Living. CCL, a charter of the Universal Church of the Master, has served and supported the spiritual needs of its community here in the Bay Area for over 20 years.
Thank you. Jen.
Yes, thank you so much. And I'm so excited to hear about that. Welcome home. Thank you for sharing your spirit in that way.
Thank you.
We are also having at the Center for Living with Dying program virtually this year again, unfortunately, our grief and the holidays, untangling the stress of the holidays, in this season. And it's a Zoom meeting from 6 to 9 p.m. on Wednesday. I will give Corky the Eventbrite link. You are all welcome to come. What we do is we talk about and acknowledge how difficult sometimes the holidays can be if you're going through any kind of change or loss. And then we break out into smaller groups and we really discuss in depth what are some plans we can make to take care of us. How can we take care of ourselves during this holiday season? And for any of us that are LGBTQ+, the holidays are already sometimes a grieving experience. But also, for anybody going through grief and loss, please join us for this amazing seminar. We really just get a chance to come together and share our wisdom and also have our stress acknowledged.
So is that this coming Wednesday?
This coming Wednesday, the 17th, from 6 to 9 p.m.
Right. And we can look for the, Corky will send out the Zoom. And I think we should say, you said unfortunately, but in some ways I'm going to say fortunately, because there's so many people that can't get to these things in person, and by technology and the virtual presence, we now can expand our outreach to many more people that are not available to be able to necessarily be a part of that. So I'm going to say, thankfully, it's on Zoom. And even if it were in person, it could still be on Zoom as well, so that those that don't have the capability of coming in and being in person still have that in-touch moment. So thank you, Janet.
Put on your calendar our Light of Lights, which is our ceremony that we do every December, the second Wednesday. This is our 39th Light of Lights.
Wow. And
so please join us for that too. It will also be via Zoom. And just as a kind of a little note, we are actually going to be filming the Light of Lights at the Union Hall, at BTA Union Hall. We'll be working a lot with the BTA folks, so we're going to kind of do a conjunction thing with them. So please join us.
thank you.
And it's open to everybody. Both of these are open to anybody and everybody.
Wonderful. Sean, did you want to say anything? Or?
So, my contact is going to be through so that we can Thursday at 6:45 online. And if you want to register, go to bluebearhealing.com.
And what time on Thursday? 6:45. 6:45. Before we start our meditation, let's just take a couple of seconds and just close our eyes and take a nice deep breath in and breathe in all the loving energy that we're sharing today. And then move on to that, and then just breathe out anything that you brought in with you that is feeling less than blessed at the moment. We can just release that to the Creator. And let's just open ourselves up to a beautiful, wonderful day with a blessing of the meditation and music from Reverend Dr. Janet Childs and Sean Imler, and then we will go forward with a beautiful day. But I just wanted to take a second and breathe. So, nice now. Or close them again, because I'm going to introduce Janet and Sean.
Gently close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And just allow yourself to have this moment in this amazing space Just feel that loving, wonderful presence that is in this building, that all of you create. And breathe that in. With every breath, we are brought forward into our life. So feel your body in this life right now. And know that this is a time where we can come together and with our community energy build a powerful force for healing. Healing for our beloved Dottie. Healing for our Ronnie. Healing for anybody that you would like to put in your awareness, including yourself. So find yourself in a clearing surrounded by a grove of trees. And it's so incredibly beautiful. The leaves are changing colors as we go forth. It's just amazing how vibrant and alive the earth is. And as you walk through this grove of trees, just notice that you're approaching the shores of a river. And this river just beckons you to just gently walk in. And know that as you walk into this river, it is the perfect temperature. Just let your body be surrounded by the lusciousness of the water. And just allow any burdens that you have to be gently released into this river. And you know that you will be taken care of. You just feel the release. Any worries, any cares, just allow yourself to have this moment of freedom, release. Let go of all that is weighing. And with every breath, just know that you can bring forth fully your beauty, your power, and your uniqueness. And when you are ready, come out of the river. Just allow yourself to be bathed by the sun, by the wonderful leaves. this chance to just be refreshed, renewed. I surrender to the ancient river. I release the burdens of my soul. I remember the sacred path before me, reaching into the truth that makes me whole. Give away, give away, give away. Give away, give away, give away the toxic secrets that I've held inside. Give away, give away, give away. Give away, give away, give away the need for control. Oh, I give away, give away, give away. I give away, give away, give away my preconceived notions around me. And I give away, give away, give away. Give away, give away, give away my fear of letting go. And as we claim our destiny, we hold dear to the promise, and on wings we reach for the sky, and never, never ask why. We are brought back home, never alone. We are brought back home, never alone. And the way is shown by the light of our open hearts, 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 open hearts. And we know as we reach for each other, we are never alone. We are never We are never alone. You just allow yourself to come back here into this room, into this circle, into this space that we all create for and with each other.
Look at that energy. How beautiful. Thank you so much. That was amazing. What a great journey. So there were a couple of announcements that I did forget to make because I get all caught up in the excitement of the morning and getting going. Back on the back table there, those that weren't here when Gabrielle announced, there's bread If you want to take some bread or anything that's back there, take the entire loaf. Also, thank you, Patty and Joyce, for bringing us the artichokes. There's some artichokes back there as well, so feel free to take one while they last. It tells me they won't last very long. The last time I took one, it was a delicious artichoke. It was so good. And just to let you know, the upcoming speakers, we've had two of them up here this morning. One is Reverend Sean, who's going to be speaking next week about compassionate forgiveness. And he has an amazing song that he shared with us a few years back, and he shares with us every once in a while, and we're so happy that we get to have that song. And then the following week, you've got me. So I will be talking about Hanukkah and the traditions in the story, and just a little bit of a celebration of the Festival of Lights for this wonderful Jewish holiday. And today, we're really blessed because we have Reverend Joyce C. Brown. Her topic today is the power of thought and spoken words. And if I know her, she's going to come up with a big stack of paper and she's never going to look at any of it because she's so amazing. And Joyce is such a wonderful, not only a wonderful speaker, but an incredible human being and just one of my favorite people. So I'm really happy and very honored to be able to introduce our speaker for today, Reverend Joyce C. Brown.
Good morning. I write it like a woman possessed. I suspect I am, but I'm okay with it. And then Patty will print it, and then I read it. Well, okay. And now I'm here. And I would like to say I'm so accustomed to having Dottie right here, waiting to see if I'm going to open this folder. And I have occasionally, and then I can't find what I'm looking for. So I've decided to wing it. We are not alone. I picked that up. And that is what consciousness is about. And it's about many things. Consciousness is about all kinds of things that we do every day, but we don't know that we're being consciously doing this because it seems right, even though it may not be the thing to be doing, but that is a different side of consciousness. So consciousness has a side, two of them, or you can have as many as you like. I try to do two. And there's the side where I'm doing things that are really wonderful for me. What I'm thinking, what I'm reading, what I'm speaking, all of this. Then there's the other side where my mind takes off by itself and tells me all kinds of things. About a year ago, I woke up feeling sad. I remember this because it was about my father. And you all have heard about Joseph Levi Thomas Brown. And I started feeling sad. I got out of bed, I made my hot chocolate. That's my thing. I sat down in a comfortable chair and I proceeded to go into deep, deep, deep feelings of feeling depressed. This was all happening in about 15, 20 minutes. So this wasn't like 2 or 3 years or 10 years or 15 years. This was, 15 minutes. And then I realized that I could stop it. But my mind was carrying me into it because of how much I still miss my father. And it's the truth, I do. And I know that's going to be forever. So for me to go into that dark place wasn't about me going into it. It was about the pain I was feeling. And my mind thought I wanted to go in deeper and to feel even more pain and to feel more pain and literally to just suffer. And I said, oh my gosh. So I had a talk with my mind. You do not yell at your mind. For those of you who think yelling works, it does. The only thing it does is causes the mind to do more of what it's doing. Because the mind thinks you want that because you're very excited, and you're very emotional, and you're yelling. Okay, so I had a conversation. So I'm sitting there in this comfortable chair talking to my mind, and I'm saying, I know you're telling me all of this because of how much I miss my father. And that he made the difference in my life. He made the difference in me becoming Joyce C. So this is really important. And then I said, I know how much I miss my father, but what I do not miss is all of the sadness. I do not miss that. So I'm going back to the joy side, and you're going to come with me. We're going to go back to the joy side. And then we're going to enjoy a story. We're going to enjoy a very wonderful memory about me and my father. Because he used to take me on walks and tell me stories. And he would encourage me to be strong. My depression was over in about another 5 minutes. Give it 10. Because I was also drinking chocolate through the whole thing. It was over. I felt it all lift from me. And I said, okay, remember this. This is the part about becoming conscious. You see, consciousness is more than saying, I am a conscious being. Okay, we're all in this room conscious beings. But how do you use it? That's the key. If you use it to stay, and I'm going to point like back there, where all the stuff that bothers you, hurts you, what has been said, what you didn't do, what you wish you did, that's not good consciousness. That's lingering. When you come to where you are, and you begin to enjoy being where you are, giving yourself support and credit for the fact that you are here, that you are where you are, and that you are really doing very well. You could be doing great if you like, whatever works for you. And that what you are engaging in right now is what it is that you're seeking in this moment. And this moment is going to stretch into what we call the future. You see, the moment goes to the future. What is in the past will come to your moment. You have to decide which one of these babies you want. I'm choosing as conscious as I can be every day, being in the moment and going forward. See, I know the rest of it is back there. So I don't have to want it or go looking for it. Unless I'm writing something or I want to talk about it in a way that is encouraging and supportive, but I don't claim it. You see, we practice a lot claiming things without paying attention to what we're claiming. So a friend is visiting some years ago, before she passed on, and she smoked. And there's no smoking allowed in our home. And we do not smoke, but if you smoke, you can go outside. We'll get you a little cup or a can to put your stuff in. But you cannot come inside. And she knew that, and dear friend. And so she got her cigarettes and her matches and walked to the door and said, I'm going outside to have a cancer stick. And so I'm standing there looking like somebody just threw some cold water on me. And I'm looking at her and I said, what? We've known each other a very long time. Another crazy Gemini, so go for that. We rule. We good. And she said, oh, I'm just kidding. I said, your mind doesn't know you're kidding. What we tell the mind is what it gives us. If you want suffering, it will give you suffering. And if you think I'm kidding, go home and practice. But just remember, you can undo it. But if you want to suffer, it's easy. All you have to do is pick something that you regret and linger there. Just go there and stay there, and you will have all the suffering, all the things you're imagining that could have happened, what others are thinking, and all of these things will add up to you feeling worse and worse and worse within. So back to the cancer stick. So I said, well, why would you say it? And she said, oh, I'm just kidding. I said, your mind doesn't know you're kidding. It really doesn't. It thinks that you want cancer. It thinks that every time you smoke a cigarette, you want cancer. The same thing can be said for anything that we do. If you sit down, and I have a thing for donuts, but we won't go too far into that. Thank you. Well, I like a chocolate chip. I'm talking to you now. But don't let me get in there too deep. Okay. So when I eat my chocolate chip cookie, because I seldom eat a donut, which is a good reason, I do not stand there or sit there or recline or sit outside watching nature and say, well, gee whiz, I'm just going to get ill and I'm going to get kidney disease, I'm going to have heart disease. I am not thinking that when I eat my cookie. Okay? What I am thinking is how much I am enjoying this cookie, how much my taste buds are enjoying this cookie, and how much I've enjoyed waiting all week for this cookie. So this is a treasure. I am not looking at my treasure as something that is going to harm me. I do not have that way of thinking about things. But when it comes up, it always surprises me if I'm having a thought that I would not have felt I would be having. So what consciousness is, well, we could say it's a state of mind, and all of these words run together to begin to create the same story. Consciousness literally is to be aware of what it is that you are doing. This is not about, oh, I didn't know that. Yes, you did. You knew it. But for whatever reason, you wanted to say it again. So therefore, when you say, or when many a person have said to me, I hate my life, I've asked which part. And they said, what? I said, which part of your life do you hate? I said, I'm talking to someone who is in their 40s or 50s. And I said, well, work with me here. What are you hating? The whole thing or the first 10 years since college, since divorce, whatever they're going through? What are you hating? It never occurs to anyone. They say they hate their life. You realize, again, that whatever we would call the subconscious, conscious to the body is thinking you hate your entire life. So that becomes an emotional response because the person that is telling me this is very emotional about hating their life. So I said, well, let's narrow it down. What is it that you really aren't happy about right now? And then they'll tell me. I said, let's work with that. I said, but we also need to go inside and do a little something to help clear that message you set in. One of the ways that I learned to do a little clearing about my messages is when I sit. And I just sit. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting. I may have, the chocolate. This is true. I go through that almond milk, I can tell you right now. But I'm sitting there with my treat, which I adore. I do. And I just notice what thoughts are coming up for me. Am I telling myself I should be upstairs clearing my office? That would be a real big one right there. Am I telling myself that perhaps I need to be more creative, working on my writings? What am I telling myself? What am I encouraging me about, or what am I coming at me about not doing? So whatever it is, you're going to start getting all these messages. And you can choose which ones you want to keep. You don't have to keep them all. Sometimes we get a bunch. Sometimes we only get 2 or 3. But they roll. The message you get, repeat. Okay? They repeat. And so if you're having a lot of messages in this hand, it is constantly letting you know how it is you are not fulfilling your life. Okay. But over here, you don't seem to get anything on this side telling you of the good things you've done. So what has taken over is the downside. That is where the deep emotions are. That is where you didn't get something. You didn't get the accolades you wanted. Somebody didn't encourage you. You didn't have somebody tell you, well done, you did great. And so these are the messages that keep coming at you. No matter what you're doing on this side, that is good stuff. You're doing your community service. You're there for your friends. You sit down and write those wonderful letters of thank you. You return your phone calls. You pay your bills on time. It's amazing. All of this is good stuff. You don't worry about this. But this is the stuff that's bugging you. So once you get your group, you'll repeat this cycle. Now you can do something about it. The first time I did that, it's amazing. My mother was the central focus. We did not have a good time. And it was a one-sided relationship. So that started to roll like you wouldn't believe. Every situation we had for me came up. Every last thing. Everything. And I said, oh my gosh. So this is what is going on underneath. Okay? This is what's going on underneath. And so when I wasn't achieving, this got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I had a talk with it. I said to my mind, the whole mind, I didn't divide it up or anything. I said, thank you for reminding me of what it is that I am focusing on, and I am not aware of it. This was underneath, running wild. And I just want to let you know that not only do I appreciate what you've done, I am now going to let it all go. I no longer need it. You have served your purpose well. Thank you. I am now free. I let go. And I let go. I can tell you anything you want to know about me and my mother, provided I wanted you to know it and figured out why would you be asking me. And it doesn't take anything away from me standing here being Joyce C. Brown. I can tell you everything. And that is the whole idea, is to be able to talk about things without it becoming who you are. I wasn't what my mother did. Okay? I became that because I felt there was something wrong with me that would encourage that kind of behavior towards me. Once I released it and let it go, I replaced it. You don't just create space, you put something in it. You can put in what's simply called positive affirmations, positive sayings. Appreciate yourself. I forgive me. I forgive me. I forgave me for what I did to me. I forgive me for holding on to what no longer suits me. I'm free of it. I let it go. Thank you. That simple message was a turnaround. Then you put in, I am thankful for being Joyce C. Brown. I am thankful for all that I have learned in life. Some of the teachings were very strong and hard, but I got it, and I am thankful for this. I am now moving forward in my life. I am blessed. And on top of it, I told my body, my soul, my mind, my body, I like you. See, don't tell yourself you love you when you don't. You have to be conscious about this. People aren't conscious. I remember the first time people were all running around telling everybody they loved them. And I said, well, do you know them? They said, no. I said, how do you know them? You love them. They said, well, you're supposed to love everybody. I said, who said so? I wanted the name. I wanted to have a conversation with that person. I said, no. I said, well, okay, you can go for that. Because this person was upset with me because I wasn't telling them back that I loved them. I just met them like 5 seconds. And I said, well, I said, well, what is your name? I didn't even know a name. And then we got into this whole discussion about you should love everybody. I said, okay, we're talking about brotherhood and sisterhood. Yes. I said, okay. I said, I still need to get to know you, to know that I actually want to know you. I may not want to know you, but it doesn't mean I won't be polite to you, but I may not include you in my life as a circle of individuals I'd like to know. I said, it's just the way it is. I said, that's how it is for me. I said, I'm just being very basic here and honest as I can be right now. So the teachings that we learn through consciousness is what helps to build our lives. It gives us a very solid foundation upon which we stand. But if you're standing on a foundation that is built on misconceptions, doubts, worry, stress, trying to be what you're supposed to be to please others, that's not working. Because you cannot ever please others. You start with pleasing you. If you're going to please others first, then where are you in this equation? You have to become conscious about pleasing you, giving to you, appreciating you, thanking you. You don't have to go overboard about it, but you just once in a while tell yourself, I appreciate you. You might discover that once you do that every day for 7 days, tell yourself you appreciate you, you will start to feel better. No one has to tell you that they appreciate you when you are telling your soul, your mind, your body that you appreciate you. And guess what else happens? You then attract that kind of energy to you. It's the truth. People don't know you will look at you and smile and say hi. You know why? Okay, let me give you a hint. The energy that you are sending out is good stuff. It's warm. It's comforting. Okay? It's the kind of energy you want to be around. And people know it. How many of you passed someone where you gave them a wide sweep to get around them? Well, there was something coming off of them that you didn't want to try to grab a hold of you to get your good stuff and go home with you. That is what happens when we dwell on the unpleasantries. The nice word for that is negatives. When we dwell on those negatives, we attract it. When I dwelled on being depressed and missing my father, I attracted more and more and more of that when that wasn't what I wanted. When I dwelled on my mother, I attracted more and more of that. The whole scene, I could write a play about it. It was an amazing experience that I went through because of what I wanted from her, she could not give to me. Once I accepted that, my whole life changed. I became conscious. This is the whole point. When you become conscious, you are not expecting for the world to agree with you. There's at least 8 billion of us. And that's because, I'm sure there's more, but not everybody fill out that form from the government. I always toy with it. And so, at least 8 billion. Okay. You want 8 billion individuals to agree with you. Now what? What are you going to do with that? You start with you. You are very important. You start with you. What is it that you would like to agree with you about? I like my strength. Okay, good. I like my humor. Okay. I like the fact that I enjoyed really nice jazz. That's true. I like me just because I enjoy my company. You see, this is okay. There's nothing wrong with this. This is not that selfish word. I don't know who thought of that. Wasn't me. So whomever thought of it, they can have it. You're being selfish. Really? Because I like myself? Are you serious? Because I am not trying to please the world, I'm selfish? No. No, 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 no. The opposite, for me to try to please the world means I hurt me. And I am not about hurting Joyce C. Brown. I really am not. So, consciousness is about getting to know yourself. Don't look for faults. So if you're going to look for faults, you're going to find faults. I could give you a book full of them. But I choose not to focus on things that I know that I am finished with. I learned from it. It was a good teaching. Where you dwell is what you become. Whether you call it consciousness or not, that is what you will become. If you dwell on all the things that went wrong, then you will not find anything going correctly or right in your life. You really won't. You will keep looking at it. Why isn't this working? And I would say, well, why isn't it? What are you thinking of? How do you see yourself when you wake up in the morning? Do you wake up thinking, oh God, I hate my life? Well, your life is listening. Every part of you is listening. So now they're going to give you what it is you say you want with an intensity of emotion, belief, and feelings, and on it goes. But when you wake up in the morning, you say, wow, sun is shining. I'm going to get my chocolate. Now you know what to give me for my birthday next year. And I'm going to go sit outside and see what the birds are doing. So they always amuse me. Guess what? My day is wonderful. I didn't start the day with the news and who did what to who and, oh, I can't even believe that person said that to me 10 years ago. Are you serious? What are you doing back there in 10 years ago? But yet, this is where many people go every day. They go to the past to take a look at it. Well, I want you to come forward. And again, stand right where you are right now and begin the process of liking yourself. I am not encouraging you to love yourself. You have to make that decision. I am encouraging you to like you. Find something about your self that you like. One thing. I like my name. I really do. I had dropped that C, then I put it back. I said, what were you doing? I like my name. I really do. I am not Joyce C. I'm not Joy. I'm not joyful. Well, I work on that. But I am not those names that individuals have wanted to call me over the years, and I correct them on it. I said, I am really aware of who I am. My name is Joyce C. Oh, Joyce C. I said, no. Joyce C. To this day, there are people who want to still call me Joy. And I said, my name is Joyce. And they look at me, and we have the look. Next time they see me, they call me Joyce. It's not always about the words. Sometimes it's about your presence. That is also a part of you being conscious. You see, a conscious awareness isn't always because I'm uttering words. When I am writing, I am conscious. When I'm feeling creative about whatever it is, I am conscious. I am not standing there trying to figure out, oh, what am I going to do? No, no, no. That is asking questions. When you ask that question, just sit down and talk to yourself. What is a good task for me to work on today? And if you listen, you will get an answer. But you don't fight the answer and go, no, no, that can't be right. Well, why did you ask? If you're wanting awareness or consciousness, and you're asking for it and you get the answer, don't deny it. Just simply sit with that and say, okay, let me see where this will go. And you just open yourself and say, okay, I'm going to open to receive insight on this reply from my conscious mind. And you might be surprised at the wisdom that you get about yourself, or about your life, or about what your mind wants you to know. My mind talks to me. It does talk. Of course, it also gets me into trouble, but that's another point. Yeah, it seems to go along with the cookie thing. But that's all right. So let me just say this. Every day is an opportunity for us to get to know ourselves on a conscious level and not to just dwell in what was or what someone said. If you're going to go outside of yourself looking for others to tell you who you are not going to get what it is, whatever you think you're looking for. People can only give you impressions. Oh, well, you seem kind of quiet. Well, what if you're not a quiet person? But you're quiet around them for whatever reason that you are. But around me, you want to talk and laugh. Now you have to ask yourself, why are you quiet around this person, but then you're with me, you want to laugh and talk? Maybe it's because of how I treat you, that the way we exchange, that we engage. I am not looking at you with a critical eye. But perhaps this person does, so you sit. You don't know what you're going to do. Well, I better behave. So if you're seeking approval from someone that you feel is censoring you, then you need to take a look at what you're looking for. You have to go inside. That's another way of being conscious. You have to go inside and talk to yourself. There are all kinds of ways to find insights and answers to your life, but the best way is to get to know you. Talk to you and trust it. Do not criticize yourself. Do not call yourself names. Do not tell yourself that you're stupid. I've heard this so many times from women and children, because I've worked with children. And it was an amazing thing. I said, well, why are you, I said, what? What do you mean you're stupid? Well, it's what my dad says. I said, oh, okay, are you stupid? No. I said, okay, remember that then. And that just maybe you might want to focus on what it is you want from your dad. Well, I found out that this little guy wanted more attention. And he wasn't getting that. And so his persistency with wanting his dad to just give him a few minutes, his father started letting him know that, what's wrong with you? Are you stupid? Can you not hear what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So I did some work with him not to talk to his father. So everybody says, you didn't. I said, of course I did. I said, he kept going over there being told he was stupid. So I said, don't talk to your father. He said, well, what am I going to do? I said, well, how does your mother treat you? Mom just loves me. She tells me I'm good, and that's good, and I did good on my math and everything. I said, you did good on your math? I was impressed. I don't do the math. I'm being honest here, people. The little fellow, cute as a button. You know how they just cute as a button. It was cute as a button. He quit talking to his dad, and the dad got a little nervous. This had gone on for months before the father noticed that his son wasn't asking him anything. And then the father started wanting to know what was going on with his son. And I said, did you tell him? He said, yeah. I said, what did you say? He said, I said, you told me not to talk to you. So I didn't. And the father was stunned. I said, he was stunned? He said, yes, he learned the stun word. He said, he was stunned. I said, okay, now what happened? He said, well, he talks to me now. I said, do you talk back? He says, yes. said, how is it? He says, I don't know if I trust it yet. And that was the truth. You know, he wasn't making it up. He's a little guy. He was just as sweet as a bell, and he was learning. He wasn't making it up. He was having to trust again that the person who drove him away was legitimate. Okay? And that is true. You have to do the same thing with yourselves. Make sure that you are treating you right. You're not just trying to placate yourself. That doesn't work, because that part of you that wants to dominate you will. It will override that and come at you with a biggie, something that you thought was gone forever, that you had pushed it down, and it will slap you upside the head and remind you of it. And you're going to say, I thought I was done with that. Well, you weren't. What happened is that it's not so much you weren't done with it. You have a mind that is also very determined to dominate us. I believe it anyway. Mine tries it every day. Our mind, once something gets set into a pattern, likes to have that pattern. When you make changes, you have to stay alert to what is happening and just simply say, no, thank you. I forgive you and let you go for that one, but that's okay. I want to end it with this. I had a client I was working with years ago, and she said that she started yelling at her thoughts, really yelling. The only time she didn't hear them was when she was working, which she had to focus on. She did detail work, so she had to focus on it. And I said, well, what happened when you bring your head up and you... She says, I start hearing all these thoughts all nonstop, and I start yelling, shut up, you know, like that. I said, oh. She said, I called you because I'm thinking that I can't live like this. And she really meant it. She says, it's been going on and on and on and on and on. So I said, oh. I said, okay, Joyce C. Brown, what do you want to do? I said, I said, so your mind is telling you what the mind wants you to hear, and it's just telling you over and over and over and over and over and over, subconscious to conscious, affecting you. Yeah. I said, I want you to ask your mind to tell you something it has never told you before. She says, is that it? I said, yeah. She says, I can do that. Okay. She did it. Her mind went totally quiet. There was no chatter. None. It was looking for what it had never told her before. Right? Like a search and find, right? And somewhere between a week and 10 days, something like that, she called me back and she said, guess what? I said, what? Because she's still on the planet, so something was happening good. She said, my mind answered me. I said, well, what did it say? She says, I heard, I have never told you that I love you. Thank you.
Did I tell you she was an amazing speaker? Well, I got to tell you, it's like you hit right to the heart of the matter, and everything and anything that I've been going through this last couple of weeks, you hit right on it. And it's like, thank you for affirming where I was going with all my thoughts. So, and my consciousness, so it's all perfect. Thank you so much. So now it's the time for giving. I have baskets up here. I don't know, you want to just, can you, oh, have we got Ayleen? No. Okay. So I don't have to go running around and be in 3 places at once. So now it's the time for giving, and we ask you that if you don't have the monetary green, energy, put your hands over the basket, give some love. This is the, energy is energy, folks, and we're going to keep going in the way that we can. And if you choose, to have a prayer and you wrote out a prayer on one of the prayer slips, it's fine to put it in there. We'll take it out and we'll put it into our prayer basket, or into our prayer bowl right here. So let's go ahead and say our affirmation. Giving to the ministry from which we receive our spiritual support and nurturing, is an affirmation and consciousness of the truth that Spirit is the prospering power enriching every area of our lives. I want to thank everybody that helped backing up today. We are continuing to do so. It's always interesting when the roles change a little bit, but I'm very glad that I can be here to be of service. So in my place this morning, I did ask Reverend Dr. Ayleen Augustine if she would do the closing for us today. So thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, evening, or night, whichever it feels to you. Time is just kind of relative, and we all have that. It's like, why does time go so fast sometimes and it just drags at other times? And usually, as Joyce amazingly, my cousin, amazingly pointed out that our minds are very powerful and they can create whatever it is ultimately we call on them to create. If we decide, this is just miserable and this is going to take forever, that's exactly what our minds decide. Oh, you want this to drag out. You want this to be suffering. And at the same time, we can think to ourselves, man, this is an amazing day. I can't wait to see what happens. And even if something happens that challenges me, you know what? It's okay, because I'm going to be stronger by the time I go to bed tonight than I was when I woke up this morning. And that is one of the greatest blessings we have, is the ability to choose our reality to quite a big extent. What you choose to make the world, often the world becomes. And, as, I think about, my relationship with the world and everything in it and myself. I always think to myself, we're very prone to be careful of what we say around children. It's like, little ears are listening. You don't want to say things bad in front of kids. Well, consider that your inner child is always listening. So we need to be careful what we say in front of that little one, especially when we're talking about ourselves. So everyone take a nice deep breath in and let it out. And as you exhale, just let anything weighing on your body, your mind, or your spirit fall into a little imaginary basket next to you, because that's your care basket. Because in this space and at this moment, whatever it is, you don't need to hold on to it with both hands. And consider that maybe if you're done with it, you can leave it behind. We know what to do. Dear, wonderful, and blessed Creator, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for our lives. We thank you for the blessing and miracle that comes in each and every moment and with each and every breath. We thank you for seeing the best in us. We thank you for challenging us, because you know that we can do it. We thank you for letting us be mad at you when we don't get the outcome we want, because you trust in our wisdom to know that one day we will understand. We thank you for being there when no one else is. We thank you for occasionally letting us choose to go into those dark places, because you know that if we choose to put ourselves there, we have the power to choose to take ourselves out of it. And you trust in our strength. You trust in the love that you teach each and every one of us. We thank you for the opportunity to have conflict in our lives and stress, because we also know that you bring joy and balance. We thank you for letting us decide and our path. And we thank you for giving us so many that we can follow. We thank you for the miracle of love in our lives. We thank you for being the one we can feel safe with, because you know that we don't always feel safe. And you're right there next to us saying, sweetie, I would never leave you. It's okay, I'm here.
You're not alone. Creator, we thank you for seeing so much in us and for teaching us how to see that in one another. We thank you for the kind words given by a stranger for no particular reason. And we thank you for bringing people to us who we can help and who we can support. We thank you for loving us in a way that is beyond our capacity to understand the word, and at the same time teaching us how to share that with each other and with ourselves. Creator, thank you for the fact that we know that your will never take us where your grace will not sustain us and protect us. And we also thank you for those times we forget. Because at any moment, we know you will remind us. Thank you for the gentleness. Thank you for the kindness. Thank you for having people around us that teach us both as an example and as a warning. Thank you for loving us just as we are. Thank you for the gifts that you give us, the ones we've opened and the ones we haven't opened. And thank you for our capacity to see you in each and everything around us, each and every one around us, whether it's a person or whether it's a flower blooming between the cracks in the sidewalk. We know you're there. We know you bring the rain and you bring the spring. No matter how bad a winter is, you always bring the spring. And we thank you for that. Creator, thank you for all you give and all you are. And we may not know totally what we are, but we thank you for making us that and for making us yours. Thank you for everything. And whatever it means to you, we hope you have a wonderful day. For all your creation to the next 7 generations and beyond, a home itakwe seen, ago, 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 by earth, sea, and sky. Namaste, shalom, assalamu alaikum, blessed be, and amen.
Thank you so much. So, just remember that there's cheese in the back, and I think there's coffee in the kitchen, and this is a time for fellowship, and let's just all take a few moments and share our kindness and love, and just go out and have a blessed week. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. We love you all.